What's going on, everybody? We got Justin and Eric here from Legion Gaming. Today we're going to continue with our how-to series on bolt action. We're going to do a small how does a turn work with a little bit of a battle rep involved in that as well. We're going to play a mission here with 1,250 points, Soviets versus Finnish. We're going to show you again how the turn works. We're going to probably play about 2 to 3 turns. And then kind of cut the camera so this doesn't become a 3-hour long video and you guys get bored and fall asleep halfway through. And then probably come back at the end and show you exactly how you wrap up a game when it finishes, how you determine scoring, things of that nature. But we want to give you a quick how does a turn work, fully playing with 2 different opponents, and kind of make it like a little mini bat rep as well. So we're going to show you the armies, we're going to show you the table. We already have the mission picked up, we'll explain that a little bit later, and then we're going to come back after all of that and get right into turn 1 and see if I can kill me some Soviets today. Alright, stay tuned.
So for this game, I'm using a standard commander. I believe he is a captain with 2 additional troops to help. They're all veterans. The entire force, except for the free platoon, is veterans. I also took my sniper team. I have 4 veteran squads. They're all outfitted exactly the same. They have LMGs, a Panzerfaust. The additional guys have all submachine guns. 3 of them are being towed behind or on Aerosands from Warlord Games. I also have an additional squad back here of veterans. And they all have the tough fighters, tank hunters rule. So these guys will hopefully be taking out any vehicles that my opponent has decided to bring with him today. On top of that, since I had points left over, I was able to take the dreaded KV-2, which, to the delight of my opponent today, was pulled out of the bag for the first time, and should be quite fun to use some of the special rules for that. I did equip it with a flamethrower as well, because we're playing in the snow, and just in case we have to thaw some of these lakes and drop some Finnish into the drink.
Okay, and here we have the mighty Finnish army. We'll start with the fact that we have 11 points, or 11 order die. Everything is veteran in this list, except for the BT-42 and the medium mortar, just because I didn't have the points. So everything else will be veteran. So we'll start up here at the front. I do have a commander that's a first lieutenant with 1 extra guy. I know you can take up to 2. One of the tips I learned early on is if you keep it at 2, then they're considered a small team, so they are harder to hit. But again, it depends what you're using it for. If you're running it up front right away, you may want that extra guy. But for what I use it for, I like the idea of keeping it a small team. So I have 2 infantry squads. Both are 9-man squads, again veteran. I have a NCO in both of them with SMG. I have a secondary SMG next to him, and then I have an LMG with a loader. Now the guys I use for a loader are these models just kind of here at the ease here, because being metal models I don't really have a whole lot of options, so that is the loader for those guys. I have 2 guys with Panzerfausts. They are represented with the guys with Molotovs. Again, don't have a lot of modeling options, so the Molotovs are actually Panzerfausts, 2 in each squad, and then just some regular riflemen, rounding them out. Next up, I have my Kokarapuccio, and I butchered that, I am sure, as we call them, the Cockatoos. These guys are awesome. They are all SMGs. They are all tank hunters. So they all have tough fighter on top of it. They are all medics. Individual medics, so on a 6-up they actually just ignore their wounds. And then they also have a deep strike missions special rule for them as Finns, so instead of just writing down secretly a left or right side of the opponent's table, I can also choose to bring them in on the back end, and I can make that decision at that moment. So I don't have to secretly write that down. I secretly write down left or right side, and then if I decide if it looks best, I can just bring them in on my opponent's back end. Without the -1 for outflanking rules for them. Then I have a 3-man medium machine gun. I have the sniper team. They have the special rule that basically allows them, it's called Master of the Hunt. Basically, I can give them a move action and then throw them into ambush and still get all the benefits of using it as an ambush as they move into position. And then I have a Panzerschreck team. Since my opponent decided to surprise me with a KV-2, I think they're going to be putting in some work today. And then back here I have a medium mortar with a spotter. Again, he is regular. A medium howitzer, medium artillery with a spotter. Then I have the BA-10 armored car, which is a light wheeled vehicle. It does have REC. And for the first time, I'm going to use a BT-42. When we were setting this up, I said that I wanted everything painted, which kind of hurt myself because I usually put a T-28 in, but it's not painted yet. And since I'm doing a Finnish battle report, I figured the BT-42 is the way to go. So we'll get to see that in action. And again, I've already had my smoke markers out because I'm going up against KV-2, and I know I'm going to be using him. So that is the 11 order die Finnish army. So that is what I'm working with today. And here we have the board set up for our Russian versus Finnish battle. Very basic winter themed. We're not playing any of the snow rules this time because we just want to get a basic of how it's going to be. But we rolled for the mission. We're going to play key positions. And of course we rolled a 6. So it's D3 plus 2 for objectives. So we ended up with 5 objectives. You'll see 2 of them there. We got one in these woods here. One in those woods there, and one in the wheat field. So real quick, we'll go over how we play the terrain. We played basically straight out of the book, no real modifications. So again, we're not playing any ice and snow, the snow rules, so no movement hindrance there. These woods are all going to be dense soft cover. How that is played out is if you have a guy in the woods or unit in the woods, they will get soft cover. Shooting out, unless they're right along the edge, whoever they're shooting at will also get soft cover. If you have a unit directly behind, you cannot see through the entire woodland. So they have to be actually in that area terrain to get the soft cover. If not, they can't be seen. Wheat field, we're going to play a soft cover to everybody, infantry and vehicles. It just makes it easier for the purpose of the battle report and keeping track of things. Other than that, everything else is wide open. The frozen rivers, or frozen lakes, there's 2 of them. One here, one over there. That's going to be rough terrain for infantry to cross, so it slows their movement down, no vehicles on it. We're not going to play any of the thin ice charts or anything like that. Again, we're just going to keep it basic. So that's basically it. Again, we are playing the key positions, so there's 5 objectives. I'm sorry, 5 objectives laid out. The way this mission is played is at the end of the game, if you control more of the objectives than your opponent, you win. If not, it is a draw. To control an objective, you must have a infantry or artillery model within 3 inches of the objective, or if you have a transport that has any infantry inside, they can hold it as well, but no vehicles can hold. And again, you have to be within 3 inches of it, with no enemy models within that 3-inch radius, is how you capture and hold an objective in this mission. So that's basically it. We will get set up here, and we will start with turn 1. Okay, so in this mission, you can choose to keep some stuff in reserves. It can be up to half of your force, rounding down. So the only thing I'm keeping in reserve is right here. I got my Panzerschreck team, my Coco Rapuccio, my BA-10, and my BT-42 will all be in reserve. Everything else will start as first wave, which we will get into in a second. Eric has elected to put everything in first wave, no reserves. So I have everything coming at me turn 1. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, so here we go. We're set up for turn 1. We rolled to pick sides. Eric won. He elected to take that side, which makes sense based off of where the objectives are. Now this mission again is played with everything is coming on as first wave. So nothing starts actually on the table. Everything will start off the table. Everything you've elected to be part of your first wave will come on as if it were reserves without the penalty to roll on them. So basically just you pick a die, you bring something in that can come in as an advance or a run. The way Eric and I play the dice pull and bag, normally the activation dice is one turn one person will pull, the next turn the other person will pull. since I'm holding the camera, Eric will do all of the dice pulling until I don't like the results anymore, and then I will take over. But most likely he will do it. So we are set up. Do you have the turn marker set? Yep. So we're in turn 1 over there. It's over there. We'll put it on the table here in a second. Okay, so we also have got to show real quick here. So we rolled for bringing in the snipers and spotters and all that. So my medium observer is there. Come over to this plot of woods. He's already got some sneaky Soviets who have snuck their way in and are on that one there. I got my medium mortar that is there, and then my snipers are sitting over here in this wood line. So you set that stuff up before the game actually starts. If both of you have things to put out, you roll a d6. The winner gets to put their first thing, and you go back and forth until everything's placed. So they're on the table, ready to go for turn 1. So we're gonna start pulling dice. Eric, first dice.
You.
First dice, me. Okay. So I'm going to bring in some infantry here. Okay, so first squad is in. Brought him in on a run here behind, running through the first objective. And next die out. Eric. Okay, he's brought in some Soviets. His green inexperienced guys ran up to the fence line there, forming a reverse V. We'll see how that works for him. So let's go ahead and pull the next die. That would be me. Let's see what I'm going to bring in next. Alright, so I brought in my medium mortar in the back table edge here. Came in on a run order again because they can only move 6 inches to set up as a fixed weapon. So that is set up. Next die. Me again. Super. Okay, brought in my 2nd infantry squad over here behind this tree line, getting ready to take some objectives. Next die. Oh, that's a Soviet. Okay, with that dice, the KV-2 has made its appearance over in the corner there on the wheat field. Thankfully, can't hold an objective, but it's going to be fun getting that now. So, here we go. Next die.
Soviets again.
Soviet. And that was an easy choice. Commissar coming in to back up the green, inexperienced Soviet squad there. Next die. Soviets. Seemed time to switch that bag out. Alright, with that die, he brought on his first Arasan, which said no vehicles on ice, but they have a special rule that they can go on ice. And you have a 5-man squad in there, correct?
Correct.
Yep. Okay.
Towed behind it.
Towed behind on skis, technically. Alright, so they're in on the objective already. That's going to be fun. See if I can kill that thing before it actually unloads anything. And goes to me. That's going to be an easy one. I am putting my BT-42 down. So you can go ahead and pull another one. Soviets. Alright, another Arasan coming up the right flank here. Another 5-man squad in there.
Yep.
Alright, those are really cool models. Get in on that. Alright, so they're out. Nice die. Nice die. Goes to me. I am going to put my BA-10 down. Go ahead and pull another. It was already ready. Me. Alright. These are the times when I don't want to be putting stuff out first. Okay. Brought in my medium machine gun. Here, try to cover down on the right flank if I can. Next die is pulled and it's me. Oh, super. I'm going to put my Panzer Shrek down. Go ahead and pull another. Soviets. Yep, and the next Arasan is down with another 5-man squad backing up the first here on his left, my right flank. That is going to be fun to deal with. Okay, next die. Soviets. Okay, he's used that order die to bring in his loose 5-man squad. They've run up to the wood line there, getting ready to take that objective. So they are placed there. And another die pulled.
It's you.
It's me. Alright. And with that activation dice, I brought in my LT there on the right flank. We'll see how that works, putting him out of the way, but he is there. Next die was pulled, and we have a Soviet dice. Okay, simple enough. Used to put that 5-man squad down in that Arasan. Next die pulled was him. Another squad down in Arasan. Alright. And another Soviet die pulled. Putting that one down. Another Soviet pulled. What do you have left?
Man.
The command. Okay. And they're gonna back up the center there. Kind of figured that was gonna happen. All right. Next. You say, is it just me? What do you got left in there?
I have one more in there.
One in there. Oh, your sniper team.
Yep.
Which, there you go, sniper team.
Pulled. Put them on ambush.
Put him in ambush. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Well, it's the rest of you.
Yeah, rest is me, so I got a couple more things. 3 more. Alright, see what I'm going to do with these 3 dice here. Now again, for the how-to purpose of this video, since all that is left is my 3 dice, just take them, you know, when you get to that point, just take them and put out what you have left. So let me figure out what I'm going to do with these last 3. Okay, so with those last 3 dice, I put my Coco Rapuccio in down order since they're in reserve. I brought in my mortar, or I'm sorry, my medium howitzer here. And lastly, my sniper team, I have declared a shot across the board at his command team. The dude sticking out there, I can see a straight shot. We already measured. I'm at 31 inches. So 1 dice, 6. That's gonna be a hit, and a 1. So no wounds, but they'll take a pin on him. So that is the end of turn 1. We'll kind of give you a scenario of the board here for the Soviets. We got some Aerosons running down, KB2 backing up the center with his green inexperienced guys. Probably a good call there to give him a little oomph. Some snipers sitting in the ambush. Did you want to fire them as ambush? On a 4-up, you still can?
Yeah.
Okay, so sniper special roll, or ambush special roll, they were in ambush, so he didn't have any shots, so I was going to roll 4-up to see if he can fire them. He can. They're ready enough so that he gets to take his shots.
We'll shoot at the squad.
Shooting at the squad in the open there?
Yep.
Yeah. 5. You yell at me for my craps rolling. Alright, so they hit. And they are veterans, so a 2 won't do it, but they will take a pin. Alright, so I'll get that pin marker on him here. In the center here, he's moved up to get ready to take that objective. He's got a pin on him there. An Aeroson zoomed up here. Looking at the Finnish side, I got my snipers that are head popped shot. Got some infantry moved up, medium howitzer. This squad ready to move in. And then on the right hand side here or there. So I got some open holes here that I'm going to try to get some reserves in before he takes advantage of them. So that's what we're looking at turn 1. We will tidy up here and come back into turn 2. Here we are at the top of turn 2. Dice bag being mixed up. Behind the back pulling. Let's see what we get. Goes to me. Alright, so turn 1, first die pull critical here. Let's see. Alright, so first die critical pull here is my medium howitzer. It's going to take a shot at his Aeroson sitting in the open. So I'm going to use the howitzer special roll, so I'm using line of sight over the barrel. It's going to be a direct shot. So straight 3. And I rolled a 2. That's how things go. Super. Okay, that was fun. Pull another die. Me again. So my howitzer is going to take a shot now. Let's see what I'm going to do here. Okay, with that device, I activated my commander. I gave him a snap 2, so I moved him, shifted him left a little bit, so he's still out of sight of those Aerosons. I moved my medium machine gun up with a run. Should be on a run, not an advance. And my medium mortar here is going to take a shot at his inexperienced guys sitting over there using the observer from there. So need a straight 6 up because I'm firing indirect. And that's a 4, so that's not going to do it. So they will have a 5 up marker on them for next turn. And that is that die. And we're going to pull the next die.
It's me.
Soviets. So we have a Aeroson moved up here with an advance. He's going to fire the LMG at my poor mortar sitting in the open there. 4 shots, needing 4s because he moved. That's over 6 inches. So 4, so that's pretty impressive. And of course, he is the one regular guy in my group. So 4, so 1, and it's possible exceptional. So this will suck. Roll out 6 again. You gotta be kidding me. So that's dead now. Stupid aerosons. Okay. All right. So one point down already. Next die pulled. Soviets again. Soviets. All right. So with that activation dice, he has moved this squad out of the aeroson and he's declared that he's going to try to kill my observer there. We already have the dice figured out, so he's got an LMG in there and the rest of SMGs. So all of these are his LMGs and the SMGs that he'll need 7s on, so 6s followed by 6s. He has 1 SMG that is within 6 inches, so that's going to drop him down to a 6 on that. So let's roll some dice to see if we can kill him. So those you'll need 7s, so 6s followed by 6s. A couple 6s in there, 3 of them, that's pretty good. 6s again. Son of a gun. Okay, so he's hit once, and then roll OC, you just need 6s on. So 5s, so nothing there. So he has 1 on him, and that is actually for the mortar, so it's a regular. So 4 up, kill him. Nope, 2. So he's just going to take a pin on the observer. So observer took a pin. Next die. Soviet. I guess I'll have lots of close targets to shoot at, I guess, when it's my turn. With that activation, he has moved that aeroson forward here. And obviously he is just going to LMG some dudes there. You're within 6 inches, so then it gives some movement, so straight 3s. That's about right. So 3 hits, so they're going to take another pin. And then they're veterans, so you need 5s. 1, that's an impossible exceptional, so go ahead and roll that and see what we get. Nope, just 1 dead dude. Okay, so we got 1 dead out of that, and then there are up to 2 pins. So, ouch. Next die. Soviets. You did put mine in there, right?
I did put yours in there.
All right. With that activation, he is bringing out his 5-man squad out of the aeroson there, and they're all set up the same way, right? LMG, Panzerfaust, SMGs. Okay.
Yep.
So my right side is quickly collapsing. Those aerosons are going to get around me pretty quick here, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So that'll be interesting. I'm assuming they're going to probably shoot now.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to shoot here. Again, I already have everything measured off camera, so it's all within 6 inches. The LMG on the end is going to need 7s because of soft cover, range, always down, all that good stuff. So 7 on the LMG, 6s on all the SMGs. So this is the LMG.
Yep.
You stop that. So you got 1 6. So roll that again to see if that becomes a hit. Nope, nothing there. And 6s on all the SMGs. That's pretty.
Not 1.
I like that. Okay. So there we go. Now we know they're there. Thank you. Next die pull.
Oh, it's a pin.
Yep. He's got me on a pin on that. So I'll get that pin on there.
It's me again.
Dude. You got him magnetized or something? Okay, Aerosson moved up here to the flank. He's going to take a long pot shot at these guys down here with his LMG, needing 5s because of movement and range. Yeah, got 2 in there.
I'll take that. And 1 exceptional.
Alright, these guys are getting pinned left and right, so roll for wounds. No wounds. 4, and what was that, 2?
2.
Yeah, so okay, no wounds, but another pin on them. So these guys have 3 pins on them. And my commander's way over there, so this is going to be awesome. Alright, next die. Gray one would be super right about now. You. Okay. Soviets for the next one. Alright, and continuing with the theme of picking on these guys. Sniper is put in fire. Gonna take a shot at these guys, needing straight 3s because no modification. That's 4, so that's a hit. And And a 2. Started to see that 6. I got worried there. So nothing there except another pin. 4 pins on these dudes. Alright. Next die. I'm just going to have to rally him and deal with it. And Soviets again.
Not liking this.
You're going to get a wall of fire at you once my dice start coming out. Good thing I frickin' snapped 2 or I wouldn't have anything on the board. Alright. And with that, we got the inexperienced guys moving up into obscure, to hold the objective and the wheat field there. Soviets. Outstanding.
This one will just be another advance.
And the commissar hurrying on up with them there. Alright. Simple choice. Gray one right about now would be super. So I'm gonna hold the bag and pull dice and hold the camera next turn. Gotta be kidding. Alright.
I did look, your dice are in there. Alright, these guys are just gonna advance into the...
Do the shuffle into the woods there. So hold. Alright. Alright, so they've advanced on in. You only have what, 3 dice left in there?
Yeah. Ah!
Look at that. I almost forgot whose those were for a second. Alright. I'm going to attempt to bring in my BA-10 armored car with that. He is in reserves. And that is a 10, so just barely made it. Oh no, because it's -1 because it's reserves. So my armored car is just going to go down this turn. So, yeah, you can go to pull another one. Hey, Soviets. Super. Alright, so he's going to move his guys here. They got a pin on them, so... Hey, you passed the command check, or the morale check. That's good. So pins off them, and then you can move them. 6 inches in, just to cover down on there. Alright. And dice pull. Excuse me while I go curl up in the corner and cry.
Well, we're going to put these guys down.
Okay. Arasan, the guys inside that are down over there. And pull your last die.
Nope.
Whoa, me. Alright, I got some thoughts to do here. Alright, so I've got my sniper team over here. They're going to take a shot at these guys in the open, needing a 3. And that's a 1. So they missed. Yeah. Finnish snipers are supposed to be some of the best, and I never can seem to hit with them. So, there goes that one. We will pull another dice here. Alright, so next dice pull.
You.
Me. Okay, so I'm going to use that to try to move these guys. They do have 4 pins on them. They are veterans, so 6 up will remove a pin. And I rolled a 7, so they're just going to go down. Alright, next die.
You.
Me. So I have moved this squad up out of the tree line and moved them up into the woods here. And I'm going to shoot the infantry down on these guys here. And I'm going to try to Panzerfaust these 2 Aerosons just because they're on this side of the board and I got nothing else to shoot at. And surprisingly, that thing has an armor 7, even being open top. So we figured out all the dice already. I'm going to need 5s on all these guys, 6 on these, and those will be my Panzerfaust. So 5s on these, shooting at the infantry. 2. 6s on these. 10 snake eyes. Okay, so 2 hits on those guys, and they're veterans, so I need 5s to kill. And a 3 and a 1. So nothing but put a pin on them. And then the Panzerfaust are going to shoot over here. They did move. They are shooting through cover because they're not right on the edges. So I actually need 5s on these bad boys. The way my dice is rolling, this ought to be good. Yeah, that's about how they're rolling. So I just expended my 2 Fausts with no hits. So at least I put 1 pin on them. Look on the bright side, I guess. Dice pull. And there's the die for the KV2. Alright, so with that dice, we move the KV2 up to the edge there, so it's at the edge of the cover, and he is going to shoot down at these poor guys that can't seem to get moving. So heavy howitzer first. Decided I need a 5 up because of movement and distance. Actually, distance you won't need, but a 3 won't do it either way. Yeah, that thing has got a 72-inch range on it. And then this is the MMG. I'm okay with these hitting. These need 5s. Got 2. 5 pins. Man, alright. Need 5s. So 1 more dead. We're going to take... Somehow this dude back here got hit. Alright. So that's that. And next die pull. Should be all me, right?
It's all you.
And now I'm going to move my whole arm. I got more than 3? No, I guess not. Alright, let's figure out what I'm going to do with these 3. We'll get them set up here. Okay, so with these 3 dice, they're all going to be my reserves, so I'm going to try to bring them in. But before I do that, scanning the table, I realized that I still have my observer here from my medium howitzer that got killed, so that should not have been on the table there. So we'll remove that. And then we are going to roll. I'll just roll all 3 just so we can say what's coming in, and then I'll place them on the table. So first is going to be my BT-42. It's a 7, so BT-42 is going to come in. My let's do my Panzer Shrek next. That is a 3, so that's coming in. And I think I'm actually going to keep my Kokoro in reserve for 1 more turn, so I'm just going to put them on a down. And then let's bring in the other 2 things here, and we'll bring them in one at a time, do their actions with them. Alright, so with the 1 die, I brought in my Shreks here. They're going to attempt to shoot at the Aerosonde, and see how the way I've been rolling. 3s, 4s, because I moved, they don't take any penalty for long range because of shape charge. So, needing a 4. Yeah! Outstanding. So, a wasted shot where they're now going to get shot up themselves. Alright, so next let's bring in my BT-42 and see what that's coming in. Alright, with my next one, since my Shrek failed me, the BT-42 ended up coming in the table edge. It is also going to attempt to take a shot at that with its howitzer to HE3, needing 4s again to hit because it moved. So let's see what happens. Hey, that's a 2. You know, and the funny thing is, Eric and I discussed off camera where we decided to pull from the same dice pool to make everything fair, and doesn't seem so fair. So that is all of the dice, correct?
That is all the dice.
Alright, so let's tidy up. We'll show you the rapid turn 2 here. So at the end of turn 2, we're going to run down it real quick here. So, Soviet's left flank, he's got an Aerosonde that has moved up that still has his 5-man team in that. We got 1 offloaded here, ready to push in, clear out the woods. The other Aerosonde's moved across. This objective sitting strong with the KV2 and his inexperienced green guys, which we still haven't seen what they are because they even haven't gotten shot on them yet. Sniper's still holding down this objective, kind of popping shots. He's moved 5-man squad plus his command squad onto this objective there, sitting pretty. These guys have moved across. They've gotten rid of that observer that was in there, so we'll see what he does with them next. This objective is going to be kind of tough, we were discussing, because it's sitting in the open. So you can put guys on it, but they're just going to get shot at the whole time. So that's where the Soviets are sitting looking. The Finnish snipers here, I've moved these guys up. Of course, I took the 2 pop shots there, nothing's happened. This howitzer is still surviving for now. These guys have gotten 5 pins on them. I should have tried to maybe rally them, but you know what, if most of the fire is being directed at them, I should be okay. But they do got to get up and take that objective sometime. Then we got a big gap in the finish line. Then we come over to the right flank here where it's looking a bit rough. I got my medium machine gun still in there. Hopefully getting ready to take down some shots there. The command is looking a little bit scarce, but then he's got some support on the right hand side here. So let's see what we can do about trying to take out that KV2 and stay in cover out of its way as much as possible. So we're ready for turn 3, and first die of the game. My bet is Soviet, and I win. I win some free shots, some lead coming at me. Alright, see what he's gonna do with it. All right, with that die, he activated these guys. They moved out pretty boldly right in front of here. We got the Panzer Faust. That's gonna obviously Faust the BT-42. Everybody else is gonna shoot over my command team. I pulled a die. I chose them to go down. So we got all the dice figured out. Even being that close, luckily, because they're a small man team and they went down, we have it all figured out and separated by what he's gonna need. So you want to start rolling there? Those you'll need sevens.
6 and 6s.
Yep.
Yeah.
So nothing with those two.
This is the LMG.
Yep, LMGs. We're gonna need 6s on them. So we got a hit on them. All right, put that off to the side for now, and then roll those. You'll need 5s on. So 3. So 4 hits on them, and they are veteran. So now you'll need 5s to do anything. And they're dead. Command team is wiped out, even going down. Okay, so super. Now we got the Faust going into the BT-42, which we needed a 3 on because it moved and you're under 6. So it hits. Alright, and that is 6 plus whatever you roll because it's a Faust. So a 7. Okay, so we hit with a 7 with this Faust, which was beautiful because that is an armor of 8. So it did not do any damage, and he just shot and wasted his Faust there. So got one more Faust over here I'm going to have to worry about. And then, of course, that KB2, that's just going to keep hammering with a heavy 4. So that was his dice there. At least he took one down. I'm down 2 units now. So we'll see what I can do with that. And he pulled the next die, and that is a Soviet dice. So, yeah. Come at me. Yeah, with that, he decided to put a fire on them. Try to finish these guys off or keep them from rallying. And since it's sitting out in the open, you're good to go there. And we rolled, he needed 3s, you're under 6, so 2s technically.
Oh, so that would have been...
Yep.
Alright.
And they are veterans, so 5s would take one out. Alright, so we removed one from there, and we're up to 6 pins now. So we'll see. And it's a Soviet die.
Advance.
Alright, so we're going to try to advance those guys. He's got 1 pin on him. It gets it with a 7, so it's good to go. Pin is removed. And he's moving those up. We did discuss off camera a little faux pas on us. Those are technically considered transports, and the driver's what's firing. So he can't be closer to an enemy unit than his friendlies. But since he just moved them up last turn, we're allowing it because really it's not going to make that big of a difference. So he just moved those guys up to get back in a cohesion for the rest of the game. So slight note for the how-to on that. Remember, transports can't be any closer to enemy models than friendlies if they are empty. But again, it doesn't really have much of an impact besides putting pins on these guys and they're not moving anyway. So, but now that he's moved those up, he's going to shoot at them as well. Alright, next we're going to shoot here. These 2 guys cannot see because of the wood line in the way there. But we got 3 guys here needing 4s because of range and all. Yeah. So these guys are pinned again, 7 pins on them now, so they're almost getting ready to run. And we need 5s, so no dead. But he is pinning the crap out of these guys, so they're sitting at 7 pins. So I'm gonna have to rally them, or they're gonna end up running next game or next round here. So yeah, there was that. So next dice pull. Black Soviet. All right, so here you just move the aerosol up a little bit. Turned it to fire at my medium machine gun. I'm gonna roll here. And was that 2 hits?
2 hits.
Alright, needing 5s because they are veteran.
Nope.
So, alright, no hits, but they get a pin on them. Alright, and next die.
Black.
Alright, so Soviet again. Alright, and here we just put a fire order on these guys, trying to kill the last observer there. Needing 6s. I don't see a 6 there. No 6s. Welcome to the land of crappy die rolling. I've been here a while. Take a seat. So all misses. So I'm okay with that. So yeah, go ahead and pull another one. Soviet again. I'm gonna go downstairs, watch some TV. Let me know when I can do something. So we got sniper team doing the fire order. Still in these guys back here. Using straight 3s to hit. Nope. 4, that'll hit them. 8 pins. And 5 because they're a veteran. That's just 1. I like seeing that CLG logo, but I'm okay with it. You rolling it. Okay, so they're up to 8 pins now. Awesome. Soviet.
Down.
Alright, so dudes in the woods went down. They're not seeing any action back there. They're alright.
Ah!
Hey, it's me. Alright, so many options. Let me see what I can do here. So with that, we got a fire marker on my howitzer here. I'm going to fire it to Aerosol. It should be a straight shot needing 3s. And then we already kind of did the template just to figure things out. And I'm going to be able to clip a couple guys, but we'll roll all that as it would. So I need 3 up. There's my 2. Stifle that laughter, Eric. Just stifle it. So yeah, and off camera I just threw a dice down the table because I'm an idiot. Okay, so that misses. So next die pull. All right, we pulled another Finnish die here. I'm gonna have my machine gun, medium machine gun, fire on these guys. He does have a pin on him. He is veteran, so we roll. So the pin's gone. At least I can get rid of those. And it's gonna be 3 shots needing 4s because of cover. And on those guys. 3 hits. So at least he's got a pin, and those guys are veterans, so I'm gonna need 5s. Hey, look at that, I didn't kill anything. So they get a pin on. Okay, next die pull.
You.
Me. Super. Let's figure out what I'm doing next. I'm going to have my Shreks over here, firing at him back there. Now I'm shooting through guys, so he's gonna get soft cover. I'm within 6 inches, so I still need a 3 for my Shrek to destroy Narison. And somehow I'll still whiff on this. It'll ricochet off the plywood on the side. Yeah. Hey, I got it. 3. Yeah, and it's already at a 6, so I'm at a 10. So that thing is hit with a 10 to a 7, so it's going to be 2 damage. A 2 and a 2. It's open top, so it's +1. Alright, so looking at the chart, I forgot. Open top doesn't matter unless it's indirect, but I rolled 2 2s, which is immobilized, and then anytime it's further immobilized, because it was considered massive damage being over 3, it's knocked out. So I actually killed something. That Aerosol is gone. Alright, next side pull. Finally killed something, a measly little 60-point Aerosol. And it's me. BT-42 is going to open up on these guys right in front of them with direct fire. Alright, so we got a howitzer firing in on those guys. I need a 2 up because of distance. His open up right in front. Got a 3 almost off the table. So he hits, it's an HE3. I'm going to get, yeah, like 4 guys there. I can get 4 guys by doing so. And it is penetration to 3, so they're veterans, so 2 ups will kill. I'm sorry, will 2 up do? 2 plus 3, yeah, it's 5, so there we go. So 4 dead. And D3 pin. And they take 2 pins on them. And then you'll have to roll morale on them with 2 pins on 1 guy. Gets a 5, so they're good. So they still have 2 pins on them, but that 1 dude is sticking it out. Alright, maybe there's hope for the right flank here. Two pins on them, okay. So maybe I'm going to start using BT-42. The only bad thing is no medium machine gun on it. Next die pull. Soviet. So we move the Aerosol up. Going to fire at these guys. The LMG. Needing 4s for the movement. Is that 2? 3.
3.
Needing 5s.
Nope.
Okay, super. But I'm at 9 pins with these guys, so I'm 1 away from them running. So he's yet to do the KB1 or KB2 on him, so that'll be next. So just to be safe, I'm going to put these guys into rally right away, so they don't end up running when that KB2 opens up on them. They pass that, and it's D6 plus 1, so they're going to do 6 pins. So they'll go back down to 3. So not really what I wanted to do with them, but considering the barrage they're about to get. And we got another die, and it is me. So let's figure out what I am doing next. The nice thing is most of your stuff except those guys have moved.
Activated or done, yeah.
So it's kind of free choice for me at this point. That's the nice thing is because as a how-to, for those who are just watching this for the first time who hasn't really played, with the back to forth activation, as you saw when I was talking about it in the how-to videos, you know, we really get to decide, depending on the ebb and flow, what you're going to want to do. You can be reactionary, you can be kind of aggressive, but here, those guys are the only things that haven't really done anything yet. So really what I do, bringing something in the open, won't really affect this turn as long as I can get the dice next turn on the left-hand side here. If I pull something in front of those guys, I'm in trouble right now. So let's figure out what I'm going to do with this. Okay, so we got these guys in the wood line here. We're going to fire in at his infantry in the open there. I already have figured out what we need. Need 4s on most of this stuff, 5s on the 1 SMG, and then 1 SMG is going to miss because it's out of range. So 4s to hit. We got 1, 2, there's 3 there. And then these need 5s. So 1 there for 6. So 4 hits, needing 5s because he is veteran. So 2 with 1 possible exceptional. Oh, there's an exceptional. So your LMG is gone. And then 1 other that you get to pick. And they do take a pin. And now he's split. And remember from the how-to videos, his next move, or next turn, he has to advance the guys to put them back into unit cohesion. So, tough choice. What's going, SMG?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So it was down, didn't quite lose 50%, so we took a pin, lost 2. And again, remember from the how-tos, now that he's split, his next activation, he has to advance to get them back into cohesion, no matter what else he decides to do. I'm okay with that. So next die. Soviets. Dear Lord, you have like, well, 3 in there because you got the commissar yet. Okay. Oh, and your command group hasn't done anything yet.
Right.
So, okay, they're down. They're just enjoying the wheat field. Me. I'm gonna make this an easy one. I'm gonna have my sniper fire at these guys, infantry here, and try to put another hurt on them. I'm going to declare that it will be the scope because a little close on that 12 inches. Hey, that shot misses. God. Helps if I can measure properly. So, shot missed because I declared that I was going to shoot with the scope. We had the discussion earlier. You know, usually when we fire, it's always going to be with the scope unless you declare not scoped. But when you get in close like that, you should always declare before you range or check the measurement what you're going to do. Because if you're within 12, it auto misses. So he can't see because the guys are too close to see, apparently. Okay, so next I would pull me. Land of bad decisions. What else can I do? I should only have 1 more in there, I guess, huh?
Yep.
So it's my armored car and my Kokoropucho, which I really didn't want to bring in yet. Alright, so I decided no guts, no glory. I'm going to try to bring in my cockatoos with this die. They're in reserve, so let me roll to see what happens. If they don't come in, you're going to see the table being flipped. They come in. And being the sneaky cockatoos they are, no guts, no glory, they're sneaking in back there on that table edge. So we'll get them set up here, and then we'll kill some Soviets. All right, the sneaky cockatoos have come in. They're going to fire on the veteran squad in the front. I will need 4s because they moved, but they're SMGs. But you are in soft cover, but I'm within 6 inches. So it's 16 shots, and I need 3s. I can actually hold 16. Wow. Oh, reroll. 1 off the table. Knew it was going to happen. Take it. So that many. So that's 16. So that's 12 shots hit. And you are a veteran, so I need 5s. See if I can kill me some guys.
Jeez.
So I'm okay with that because that's what, 5 guys in that squad. All 5 dead. I got some exceptional. Hey, look at that! I get to pick 2 of them. So there we go. Squad is wiped out. I'm okay with that. That just leaves a command on there. So yeah. I'm alright with that. Let's see what I can make happen from then on. Alright, and we got... So now they're in the open now. That's going to be what worries me. See what we can do from there. And dice pull. Me! Armored car, which I don't want to bring in yet because that KB2 hasn't gone. Alright, so I got my armored car to come in yet. It is still in reserve, so we'll roll to see if it comes in. 9, barely comes in. And we're going to bring it in right over here. So it's out of the way of that KB2. Bringing it over here. That stinking KB2, man, that thing terrifies me. Alright, so we're going to bring it in right there. We're going to fire the light anti-tank gun at the Aerosol, and then the LMG on those guys right there. So the light anti-tank gun should just need 4s because of move, but 3s because of distance. That's a 1. That doesn't hit. And LMGs, I will need... Yep, you're within 6, but you're going to get cover because I'm shooting through something, so needing 4s. 3 hits. Needing 5s. 2 dead. So a pin and 2 dead on that squad, which will force them to take a morale check because they just lost over 50%. At -2. Snake Eyes. So not only did they pass, but technically they remove... Okay, sorry about that. I had to take a little bit of a check on that because technically he rolled Incredible Courage. We had D6 plus 1 removed. It says normally instead of the 1, which means when you would go to give them a command, but technically the rule book does say anytime you take a morale check, which he just had to do. So we're going to play it as he rolled a 5, so both those pins go away. So that one dude is just hardcore ready to go. So if anyone knows anything different, FAQ or whatever, put in the comment page or comment section. But from what we're seeing, that's a regular morale roll. So there we go. What's left in the bag? Just you?
Me.
Oh, what? Your KB2 and you have your commissar over there.
Yep,
and your commands.
Command.
So, hey, for a change, he's got 3 left in the bag. Let's see how he's going to play these out. Alright, so with those 3 dice, he's put his commissar on down. He's got the KB2 that has turned its turret to fire at these guys. And we did check off camera. He's got a straight line of sight down that just misses this guy. You can't shoot within an inch. So he's actually good to go there. And he can go down and clip this guy in the back end. So we are going to give it to him. You're under 72. It does count as a move because you moved the turret. So 4s. 3. Super duper. Alright. I'm okay with that. And then, oh, and you can't fire. That's got a flamethrower. So that shot, and then you got these guys here, your command team that you're going to decide to shoot with. And they have what, SMGs? Okay, so SMGs 4s normally because of you're shooting through the cover, not at the edge, but you're within 6 inches, so straight 3s. Can't be mad. You did it. I did it to you.
I know.
All right, so 4 hits. So they're going to take a pin. And 1 dead, possibly. See if you can self-medicate. Oh, he's in it. Self-medicated. There we go. Put a little gauze in that wound, and he's ready to go. So, okay, with that, they'll take a pin. That is the end of turn 3. So we'll get cleaned up here and see where we go from there. Okay, so let's show you where you are coming into turn 4 here, where we are, I should say. So for the Soviets, Arison's gone. He's still got 1 guy sticking it out here. These guys are still sitting pretty good right here. KB2, inexperienced, still green, still have no clue what's going on. Those guys are just holding down the wheat field. Arison is still moved up here. We got snipers in there. Back here, maybe a little bit of a treacherous situation for the Soviets. We'll see how that plays out. Their right flank has kind of moved forward a little bit out of position and kind of collapsed a little bit on them. For the first 2 turns, I got nothing. That last turn, I got pretty lucky with some stuff. So I'm still sitting over here with these guys in the woodland. We'll see what happens with them. I got to start moving them somewhere, something. Howitzer still somehow survived. The armored cars finally come in. These guys have rallied, but are still in rough shape with 3 pins on them. Still have the gap in my line because how I had to bring them in. Medium machine gun somehow still survived, along with the Shrek and the BT-42. So what we're going to do, because we didn't want to turn this into a super long battle report, is we're going into turn 4 here. We're going to play turn 4 and 5 off camera, just so we can get them done, and we'll come back in for turn 6 so you can see how the last battle round would go and how to figure out who won and go from there. But that is how we're looking at right now. Like I said, we don't want to get this long and drawn out. We just want to give you an idea how the battle rounds and dice activation play, and some thought behind how you pick your stuff that you want to actually activate, when's the best time, all of that. So we're going to quick play 4 or 5 mission or turn here, and blink of an eye we'll be back at turn 6, and hopefully we'll see if there's any Soviets left on the board. If I'm lucky, no. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. Alright everybody, we are back at turn 6 now, the top of 6. We played through turn 4 and 5. Show you quick the board, give you a quick recap of kind of what was going on. Things have turned very quickly for the Soviets in favor of the Russians, which I'm pretty happy with. But let's go through the Soviet line. So everything that was back here, he had the spare guy that was there. He got killed. The line that he had here, they got machine gunned down and ended up failing morale and running. He is still holding strong here with the KV2, and he's inexperienced guys, so we still have no clue what they are because they have yet to be battle tested. But his KV2 has been holding line. It moved up a little bit. It was taking some pop shots to the left there, but holding really well. His sniper is still holding strong on that objective, is taking pop shots. The Arison that he had here, he ended up moving that one up along with the one that was back here. He ended up moving them up because my cockatoos showed up. They ended up killing off that 5-man squad he had there, and then his command turned and fired at me. Wounded one, and he patched himself up with being a medic and kept going. So they've moved on to the objective, but they're getting hammered by these 2 Arisons that he's trying to keep away from all of our stuff as they close in and just peppering shots at them. The MVP of the game, as Eric says, is he had the infantry squad here. He had 1 guy left with the Panzerfaust. He strolled up, put the thing to the grill of the armored car, and ended up knocking it out. And then in retaliation got shot the crap out of by these guys here. But the armored car is dead, which I was not expecting. So leaving me a little light on this side, as I have no more Panzerfaust. These guys that were back here have just been getting hammered, but somehow they still survived. They have 4 pins on them now. They moved up to the objective, but I've lost all my Faust. So besides for them being open top and putting pins on them, I really don't have much else I'm going to be able to do unless my howitzer keeps taking shots. Snipers, now that it's turn 6, have kind of run out of the woods. It's more important for them to nab that objective, because if I take that objective, I win the game. Right now, he is sitting on 2. I'm sitting on 2. So he either needs to knock something off an objective, or I take that. That's going to be kind of the deciding factor. But yeah, it turned around pretty good for the finish. My 42 is still trying to cower from that KV2. It hasn't maybe not killed a whole bunch, but he's really shut down my whole right flank on what I can do based off of that stinking thing sitting there. Everything else is cowering behind trees and just trying to make it. So we'll see what happens. That's where we are now at the top of 6. And we're going to go to pulling some dice. Soviets. See, for once you have, what, 7 dice in the bag?
7 dice.
And I'm sitting at 8, so I'm finally ahead of him. But we'll see what happens here. It's going to get ugly quick. Because you have, what, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's your 7th from?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was one not pulled out? Oh no, 6 in there. You're right. Okay.
I'm trying to get them in advance order. This is either going to go horrible or...
So yeah, I've been hammering his Arisons. They have 3 pins on him. He has 2 pins on him. He's going to try to advance. He gets a 3, so 1 pin goes away, and this is advancing. Can't move it closer to my guys than your own. Which would you do? Oh, are you kidding me? You're gonna pop shots at my snipers.
That'll at least count as moving.
Yep.
So I want to move up a little closer.
4s, you're gonna need 5s. You're under 18 inches already. Doesn't really. It's not gonna matter too much. You move too much closer, and you're gonna be closer to me. So yeah, needing 5s. Got a 6 in there. So snipers take a hit. Actually, yeah, 6s would do it because it's a small man team. Forgot to add that in. No wounds, just takes a pin on the snipers. Alright, hopefully they can shrug that off and still get on that objective.
That's you.
That's me. Joy, oh joy. I'm gonna have my BT-42 lob a shot down at this guy before he moves again. So needing 4s because it is long range, and misses with a 1. See, I'm gonna have to put the camera back off again because I didn't roll one bad roll the whole last 2 stinking turns. All right, let's try something. No guts, no glory. Where's my measuring tape? Losing all kinds of crap here. All right. Shreks are moving out of the woodlands, praying that I'm within 12. Actually, 24 is what I forgot. These things have 24. I didn't have to move out of the range, but I'm still over 12. So that's gonna be a bad decision on my end. But I'm gonna try to Shrek him. 3s, 4s because I moved. 5s because of soft cover. Long range doesn't matter. Hit him. That's a miss. That's going to end badly. Okay. Goes to you. No, goes to me again. Man, at this point... I'd like to try to kill stuff over there, but that... Alright, after some long, hard thinking with the smoke flowing, I'm going to fire my howitzer down at that Arison. Just needing a straight 3s because range is definitely good on that thing. Hits on a 3. HE 3 to armor a 7, but it is open top, so 4, I am at a 7. 8 because it's open topped. And I rolled a 4. It is destroyed. No sense in rolling on pin on that. So, not the one I wanted to hit because that one already had moved, but at least I don't have to worry about it if we go into turn 7.
Me.
And Soviets. The advance got 3 pins on him. I think I know what he's gonna do. 90 fails. Fails. I'm assuming you're gonna go after those snipers. Yeah. Go down instead.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't even.
Nope.
It's me again.
Soviets. Can your snipers?
I was wondering, can they hit yours? Yeah.
The problem is they can't because you got a vehicle in the way. Within 1 inch. Obviously, again, the rules are if you're within 1 inch, if it can harm it, you can't shoot. Normally, you can shoot past vehicles with rifles, but because that is open-topped, he would be able to pin it. So he can't shoot within 1 inch of it. Is my understanding. Again, comment on the rules. It does say to harm it. So, what do you think? Do you want to give it to you? You can give it to you if you want. It's not going to, unless you kill one and they run off the board. Then that's not allowed.
No, it's fine. So, yeah, they're just
Well, you could pop a shot at these guys and try to get them to. I mean, yeah. Got the guys in the woods, but you need to kill 2 of them to get them to run.
Just put them in ambush.
Ah, crap. Okay. That's actually worse. Alright.
You?
Me. I'm going to attempt to... I'm going to advance these guys. They do have a pin on them. They're good with a 7. Now, is that 36 inches down your commissar? I'm going to attempt to shoot. Let's see if I can actually hit him.
Yep.
Oh, he's in rage. Long shot down the board. Misses with a 2. That's par for course. Okay.
You?
Stop that. Should probably keep the camera focused on the board. Warn you all now, this is the first time actually trying to hold the camera instead of stationary, so it's been interesting. Okay, machine gun's gonna fire down to your guys down there. See what we can actually get them to be. See if they reveal themselves on the last turn. 3s, 4s because of cover, 5s because of range. Yeah. And not a single one. So, never mind on that. And it's Soviets. You know your KV wants to take out that Panzerschreck. And I would be okay with that being this late in the game. And say you could probably get those guys up onto the fence and pop shots at the cockatoos over there.
Put me too far away from the
daisy chain them.
Yeah.
You can get as many up possible as long as you keep one within 3 inches. I mean, you're not really going to get them to run, but one of my favorite sayings is, you don't win medals by going home with ammo, so you can take the shot.
Yeah, but it's clumping them all together, though.
Yeah, my howitz already fired, though. Eric's learned the trick when you go to range in. The rules say that if the target moves more than 2 inches away, you lose that ranged in. So these guys have been back here doing the Russian shuffle to keep moving around, so I can't get more than a 6 to try to hit them. So it's been working so far. And then we'll do some measuring here because it's got a whole bunch of guys in there, and we'll get back and see what we can actually do here. Alright, so we got it all figured out here. He's going to need 6s just because he's still actually inexperienced. Oh, look at that. There's what, 3 in there. Cockatoos get hit by inexperience. That's going to take them off. Alright. And 1, and it's a possible exceptional, so you can roll out again. Nope, but give it here. Let's see if he self-medicates. He's good. Not gonna let some greed little Rusky hurt him.
I just messed up what I wanted to do.
Oh, because now your KV2's blocked.
Well, I was going to actually turn it and drive.
Turn this way and drive in, out in the open.
Yeah, but I wanted to get it as close as I could, because then the flamethrower could come into play.
That's what you get for taking strategy advice from your opponent.
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked, and there's the dice for the KV2.
Yeah, because I don't have anything else.
Moving forward and probably hit my BT-42. Well, that's unreliable, right? You can get it out far enough.
I'm not worried about.
I know, you just need to, at this point, you just need to get something off an objective.
Yeah.
Can he fire down through at my sniper?
Well, no.
Okay.
No, he won't be able to do that. So I can do one 90-degree turn.
Yep.
Well, alright, so he can move, what is it, 18? 12.
He's fully tracked, but does have unreliable, or not unreliable, slow going, slow moving.
Slow.
But only move 6 then. They were meant to keep up with infantry.
Yeah. So he's going to go out 2 and then make his 90-degree turn.
Getting 4 inches yet.
Yep. So we'll go. Because at least now his rear-facing machine gun.
Oh.
Yep. And he's still going to get his.
But is that considered, is the rear facing considered a coax?
No.
Oh, it's just a turret rear facing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, good deal.
Okay, so that's, and it's hull, so it's hull.
Hull with a medium machine gun, right? So it gets 5 dice.
Yeah, 5 dice. And is the rear one medium too? Or
Probably a medium, I would assume. Thing's a moving bunker.
Because the flamethrower is the coax.
Yeah, and it's not in range anyway.
No.
They haven't been able to use that thing.
Alright, so the howitzer.
3s, 4s because he moved. You're shooting, I'm guessing, using direct sight.
Yeah.
So 5s because of soft cover.
Okay. Front machine gun, same thing?
Should be the same thing. You're under 18 inches.
Question. I doubt it.
See, this is normally all the stuff we do off camera, but we figured it's good to actually see how we come up with this stuff. So it's not.
Nope.
So 3s, 4s because he moved, 5 because of range, 6 because of soft cover. And your back one. Out of the way. I think you're under 18 there.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So straight 4s because I'm out of cover because I pulled that guy out of the woods.
Alright, so we do the 4s first.
5s, I'm sorry, because it's a small team.
Okay.
So 2 wouldn't matter anyway there, but they take a pin. No wounds, just a pin. This is normally then when I go to roll, if we go into turn 7, he has 1 pin on him. I'll roll a foo bar and he'll run off the table like they always end up doing. And that's the front needing 6s. So nothing there. And the important one, needing a 5.
Oh.
And it gets a 2. He's been hanging out with those inexperienced troops too much. He doesn't know how to shoot.
Too drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been sitting back there for 4 turns. They've been hitting vodka left and right.
Well, actually, hold on. Let me. Oh, I still have 1 dice in it.
Your commissar. Well, really at this point, because I don't know if we're going to end up going into another turn, I'm just going to put these guys... I'm just going to rally these guys in here. As soon as I find them on the dice. 6 sides and it takes forever to find the order you're going to give them. So they have to pass motivation. They are now 11 because they are Finnish. So it gets you on 4. D6 plus 1. Yay, 2. Okay. Done.
You.
Me. At this point, I'm just going to move these guys. Yeah, we're just going to move all these guys up. I'm going to attempt... attempt to fire at that Aerosol. I can't damage it because it's armor 7, but it is open topped, so I can try to put some shots on it. Alright, here's a whole lot of shots down that Aerosol. I'm just trying to put a pin on it. Needing 4s on these. So there we go. I got a pin. Needing 5s on these. So that's all I was trying to do because I can't damage it, but at least put a pin on it. Just in case we would go into turn 7, it's a little bit harder for him. Do you have anything else?
Commissar left.
Commissar?
He's just going to go down.
Okay.
And then it's you, because that's the last dice that's in there.
I have one more in there. What's more in there for?
Your observer?
No, that was with him. Oh, my cockatoos.
Oh, the cockatoos, yeah.
Cockatoos are just going to go down. So we will tidy up here. We will roll to see if we go into turn 7 or not. Okay, so we did roll a 5. Normally the game would continue, but we kind of talked it out and decided that we were good just ending it where it was at. Why we came to that decision, just real quick look at this and we'll show you an overall of the board. So I'm sitting right now on 3 objectives. He'd have to get me off of 1. His Aerosol was sitting here at 4 pins. I had enough stuff zeroed in on that. He could move the KV2 up, but he wouldn't be able to be in range of flamethrower in it. So, hoping the MMG and all that did enough. And with these guys being as hardcore as they are, honestly, I would probably just throw him down and let him just rain hell on me and still take him, just still take that objective. So there's really no way he was going to get me off the objective. So we just decided to call it after turn 6. We'll quick show you the board. I'll start on the Russian side so I could see how glorious my fins looked from this side. But so he was able to hold this objective. We still never found out what these guys were. They always start inexperienced, and once they take the first hit, then you roll to see what they are. But they've been sitting back in the corner, and honestly, I just couldn't get to him in time. His KV2 moved up a little bit. His snipers did a great job holding the center there, and it would have been hell trying to get to him, just with the amount of covering support he had there. His right flank unfortunately collapsed a little bit, but those Aerosols were playing hell. On my side, surprisingly, I was able to hold this flank. When he moved that stuff up, I thought we were pretty well dead. But I had to put a lot of stuff on that side, which kind of played havoc on my plan. And then still holding the center here. The howitzers surprisingly still alive. My snipers actually did something. They may not have killed anything, but they actually moved up and took an objective. So that's what the board looks after turn 6. We're going to sit down and give you an AAR, give you what our thoughts were on our initial plan of what we were going to try to do, how we feel it worked, where we felt it went wrong, just to kind of talk it out a little bit of that overall AAR of how the games work compared to how they don't work when you want them to. So yeah, we'll get back to that and go from there. Alright, so that wraps it up. It ended up being a Finnish win, squeaking by. My Soviets ran on the 3rd objective at the last moment. Not at all what I was expecting. So, do we want to talk a little bit about what your plans were in the beginning and how they went?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird bag for the Soviets. Basically, Soviets are normally a horde army. And I ended up not doing the horde mentality as far as maxing out troops. I took a lot of minimums just because I knew I was going to be fighting the Finnish and all their crazy rules and those cockatoos.
Yeah.
Because I knew they were going to come on at some crazy moment that would probably cinch the win for them. So the biggest thing was I was hoping to actually push him off of one entire side of the board and make him worry that, hey, this whole entire side has fallen. I need to get some troops over there. I need to make sure everything's secure. And it started to work until he brought in, what is it, a
BT-42.
BT-42. I was really expecting his armored car to go in over there.
Yeah, well, that was the plan until it failed the reserve roll.
Yeah, and I was actually hoping that they wouldn't come on at all, to be honest. So that kind of, that was a deciding factor. The other deciding factor was Soviets, as soon as you start taking pins, especially on 5-man squads. It's hard. And with veterans, yeah, you can motivate them, but if you notice through the video, as my units started to get pins on them, they started dying. The only unit that really held up was the Aerosands, and I don't use my transports as actual transports most of the time. I use them as mobile gun platforms. It's a little different than, you know, some of the other transports that you see on the field, but to me, I don't know, they're more of a harassment.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more when it gets to me, but I have to say I was really impressed with the Aerosans. I mean, I was honestly, open topped is always great to go against, because I didn't think they put pins on them. Mm-hmm. But being armor 7 puts them in the category of an armored car, and how quick they can zip around. And yeah, it's only an LMG, but God, those things are annoying.
Yeah, and if you pair them up,
yeah,
they're brutal. I mean, that's you really can zip them around, which is what I did at the end. I was trying to keep them so that they could help contest some objectives by pushing them back off of them, but I just couldn't. As soon as they started taking pins, I knew it was going downhill. The KV2, pretty good. I have to say, I was very impressed. It's the first game you faced off against it.
Yeah, it may not have. I mean, it may not have killed a bunch of stuff, but that's because I kept a bunch of stuff out of its sight, which in effect basically shut down my entire right flank. I had to be very careful, you know, with only one thing of woods on that side, which is why I went so heavy there. It effectively shut down an entire flank on my side.
Yeah, and like I said, the first time I've used it, that was one of the first units I built and painted. And I was actually thinking about using some smaller tanks, some T-34s. Bolt action, I don't like the limiting factor that you can only take one tank. I wish you could take 2 tanks. I know you can take assault guns and things like that, but really 2 tanks would be very helpful. I'm looking forward to Tank Wars when we do that later this year.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit. Well, I think moving forward as a club, we'll start doing where we allow more than one platoon. On a friendly scale, we usually only do 1, because when you go to some of these bigger clubs or some of these game days and they allow multiple platoons and multiple tanks, and you start to see the guys go, I'm going to take 3 Tigers and take 3 platoons and fill it out with Tigers, and then whatever points I have left, put it in the infantry. Luckily with our club, we don't see that often, so we can probably start expanding that to allow more tanks. Like I said, we are going to do, and we'll post more about it, we are going to be doing a Tank Wars game day in December, leading up to probably another tournament that we'll host in the spring.
Yeah.
So
some of us get dragged along.
I plan everything. I'm the good idea fairy, and then I put it on them to make it happen.
Yeah.
No, come on now. It was fairly across.
It was. So you know, and it's a fun game. It's great. I like it. It's historical. It's and actually when we met, you played historical, and all I did was GW fantasy and well, not even fantasy. I did.
Yeah. When I first came into the group, I was the historical guy that we used to go to game days at people's houses, and there'd be one other historical guy, and we'd play our one game of Flames of War, and then sit around and watch everyone else play. So, when I met you, I got you into Flames of War. I've been bugging about 28 mil bolt action for a few years, and finally got everybody on board. It's a fun squad-based game. I like it, and we've talked on videos and stuff before, but the random activation aspect is awesome. You don't see that in games too much. It's instead of the back and forth, you move, shoot, charge, and then I move, shoot, charge. It's much more reactive and immersive, because you got to think, do I want to get those guys across to get that objective, but then they're going to be in the open, and you know, you may get a dice before me. That dice pool becomes really important at certain times in the game. So yeah, that.
Yeah, and that really helped in turn 4 and 5. Of course, when we were off camera, all of a sudden, Justin's fins are no longer camera shy.
Yeah,
and they just. I was losing units left and right.
Yeah, they hit hard at the right moments.
And a lot of that was the activation, because the first few turns I was going first 3 or 4 times, and things were working out very well. 4 and 5, I think you drew. I drew it because you kept letting me do it. 4 or 5 dice.
Yeah, at one point turn 5, there was I think 5 dice pull in a row for me to let me really choose what the importance was going to be, and pick away at some of the units that were just annoying. So that kind of it for your part.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I love the Finns. I started playing them in Flames of War. I just always loved the feel of them, and bolt action came around, and you'll hear in a lot of podcasts and a lot of other Flames or Facebook pages Finns are probably one of the most underrated minor axis parties out there. Just the amount of special rules they have, and they're hard hitting. And at one point, he had one of my squads down to, I think they had 6 pins on him. And instead of trying to rally him, I decided I was going to try to move them. Well, they're at half strength, so they're automatically morale 11. Ended up passing with like a 3 or 4. I mean, they're really hard. The more you hit them, the harder they want to stick around.
And then you lost how many pins on them too at that?
Oh yeah, and then I ended up rallying them and ended up losing like 5 or 6 pins off them when they were at 9 pins at one point. And of course, it happened one of the turns we didn't get. And before his KV2 could finish him off, I decided to rally him and ended up rallying 6 pins off him and dropping them back down to 3. So they just shrugged it off and kept fighting. But going into it, like this is kind of the main list that I take. The BT-42 was a little bit different for me. I'm impressed with how it played out. It's rough not having any extra machine guns on it or anything, but that HE3 is pretty impressive when you're using it as an infantry killer, and for the points, you can't be beat. So this is kind of the list I played off. I usually play it the same way. What I keep in reserves, I normally keep there because that's my reactive force to what my opponent's going to bring. Looking back, looking at his list, I probably should not have done that. Again, I've played Eric several times with his Soviet hordes, and I can kind of bring stuff in when I feel they're close enough for me just to gun them down. This list you brought was a very much an in-your-face type of list. I mean, turn 1, they were in my deployment zone, and I had to deal with that. So, you know, you guys saw turn 1 through 3, me bringing certain stuff in wasn't really where I was planning on bringing it in. It was much more of reacting to the fact that his aerosons were right there. And I knew as soon as he unloaded those small 5-man squads, all SMGs, all tough fighters, I could not let them assault me. I had to do something about it. So it forced me to play a little differently than I wanted to play this list. Turn 4 and 5, again off camera, but I really spent more time just killing what I could on my back end to be able to move and free my army up again, which was really what it was. And that happened mainly turn 4, beginning of 5, and then I was able to push forward. You know, in the end, again, I love my Finns. I'm happy with how they played. I would have done things a little bit differently. Those aerosons are brutal. You know, I put my Shrek on the side of this KV2, but all my Panzerfaust are on the other side. And looking back, you know, that really restricted what I could do, because, you know, armor 10, that thing is just a beast.
It's just a mobile bunker.
Oh, it's insane. So, yeah, in the end, I'm surprised, honestly, and surprised I pulled out a win. Those cockatoos, you know, they're a brutal list. They're 184 points for 8 guys. They are very expensive as the Finnish army goes, but they are completely worth it. You know, and they can come in on the flanks and come in the back edge. I think every time I play him, I bring him in the back edge. You know, with you pulling your stuff as quick forward as you could,
yeah,
I felt confident that I could hit those woods, because besides for your one squad and your commands, you didn't have anything else you could bring back. Right. So that's a win-win. I've had those guys where I put them in and I know they're going to die right away, but I use them to harass artillery parks or people who like to keep their command in the back, or just be that annoyance of bringing them in. It's an expensive annoyance, but it always ends up pulling out the win for me. So yeah, I'm happy overall. I think moving forward, you're going to see us play some more Batraps. We'll probably play the whole thing through, maybe scale down on points a little bit, maybe do a Tank Wars 1 next just to play that through a little bit. Try to get some other forces on the table. The problem really is getting the people together in painted armies. We like to do a fully painted demonstration. That doesn't always work that way. And I'm usually we talked off camera about this. I'm usually the bad one at that. I want to do all these Batraps, but I'm the one who doesn't have the painted army, so it's my own fault. So moving forward on this, I'm sure there was a little bit of mistakes. A couple things that afterwards we talked about, oh crap, we did maybe a little bit wrong. You know, moving the aerosons forward. There were a couple times maybe the dice rolls we forgot to add something in. You know, please comment down if you saw something. Correct us on a little bit. Again, there's lots of YouTube pages out there, and how they do Batraps are a little bit different. If you like the mobile camera work and prefer that kind of stuff, and want to see all the in-between of us babbling to each other about what it's going to take to hit and all that, let us know. We'll start putting that in. We try to cut out a lot of that just so you see the action, and it's a little bit shorter. If you like more of a stationary camera over the top, if you like more of a after each turn, then we bring on the camera and talk about what we did. That works for some game systems. Those game systems where you move, shoot, assault, you can wrap it up, but when you're back and forth, it's very hard to do that. But comment, let us know what you like, so moving forward we can try some different camera works and see how it goes. Of course, comment, like, subscribe. We're going to do our best to get more stuff on the page, not just bolt action. You're going to see some other stuff from us soon. We're involved in Kill Team right now and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But this was kind of the focus for the page at the moment. So, anything else to add?
Nope, that's it.
All right, we're done. I'm exhausted. Gaming's exhausting. I'm gonna take a nap now.
Yeah.
All right, all. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care.